Hi everyone, I hope you're all well. I'm using the Light Seers Way for our reading today. I'll choose 3 cards, read the base of the pack, take one from the Mystical Angels and one from the Gods, Goddesses and Angels as well for some extra guidance. And we are moving in between times. As yesterday, popular was the... Samhain was the popular day on the 31st of October, but astrologically it occurs when the sun is 15 degrees in Scorpio, which happens on the 7th of November. So we have this 8 days of transformation, of moving in between worlds, of endings and beginnings. So this is a beautiful time of really going within. We are now moving into the dark time of the year where we are slowing down, where we are really going deeper within. This is very feminine energy. So taking our time during this week, and today is All Saints Day. So going into our hearts and fasting and praying, fasting from the overthinking, fasting from worries and concerns, and instead of worry, sit down and pray. A prayer that you feel a connection with, that really activates your heart, and feel the saints and sages surrounding you and bringing that wonderful divine healing, helping us to move through this mystical time in a very sacred and holistic way. So a wonderful week of endings and beginnings, and finding prayer instead of worry. So I'm setting the intention for a reading for the highest and greatest good for the collective, or anyone who views this video. So there we have the 5 of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the High Priestess, wow, powerful, the 4 of Pentacles and the Lovers. So this is all around our relationships, which is still the south nodes are being activated by Pluto. So the south nodes, where Libra is being activated, and with Pluto asking us to delve even deeper, really looking at our past relationships and what they have created emotionally within our bodies, within our cellular memory. Relationships ending, and maybe still holding on to some regret, some pain, some heartache, holding on to some grief even. Looking at everything that we've lost. When she is holding that cup of treasure, and from all the grief from our past relationships, we gain the wisdom that brings in this treasure, that we do not put ourselves in certain positions that maybe we would in the past for over pleasing, or not wanting to upset anyone, or fear of not being in that relation through some kind of codependency, whether that is a need for that person in our life for one reason or another. This creates a residue within our cellular memory that we go out and we project into our relationship. So we'll come so far into a relationship, and then we'll start to overanalyze everything. And today is All Saints Day, bringing in this beautiful energy of love. Venus there in Virgo being beautifully activated, reminding us of the loving energy that really heals, this universal loving energy that heals. Venus is the planet of love and all things beautiful, and is reminding us of that, not to look into the shadow, into our relationships coming from what we've gone through in the past. We've got the Knight of Cups here, bringing in romance. So if we're busy holding on to the past and what's happened to us in the past and doubting relationships, we will block ourselves. We are armouring our heart of love from love. We are holding pain within our heart. So today is a day of really looking deep within our hearts and allowing any memory to come to the surface to do with our relationships of the past. The High Priestess, honouring the priestess within. This is the divine feminine. We're going into that deep place of the subconscious, peeking through the veils of our subconscious into those shadows maybe that we never really knew were there, or we didn't want to look into through fear. And it's about looking and shining light there. This is the sun in Scorpio, shining the light into those deep emotions that we have held and concreted within our psyche, within our being. And as we shine light and dissolve all those dense emotions, we receive enlightened solutions and visions. So we are really bringing in the High Priestess during this time of immense healing, helping us to look through the veils into our past, into our emotions, and allowing them to be alchemized during this in-between. We're walking in between worlds, and we will come out of this portal that we're moving through. We will come out, as always, changed, and we've gone through so many portals just lately of going in and doing that inner cleansing into the deep emotions that we didn't want to acknowledge, and really seeing certain behaviours coming through and being a witness to those behaviours. It might not be anything that is particularly hurtful to anyone, but it's a behaviour that comes through, and we're seeing those now and standing back and really observing how we are reacting or responding and what behaviours are just coming through us. And each time we're able to bring in some awareness that helps us to pause before we bring these habitual habits through. So we're going deeper and deeper within our relationships also, with the Pluto activating the South nodes, the Moon nodes in Libra. It's all about our relationships. We're still coming through with Aries, with Chiron in Aries, doing the deepest inner healing, the sacred healing that is required of us now for us to move into beautiful relationships. And just the High Priestess is asking us, what are we holding on to? What pains are we holding on to from the past that we are putting into our relationships through doubt? We start to doubt that person based on what's happened to us in the past, and so we start to punish the person who we're in a relationship with based on what's happened in the past, without even realizing what we are doing. We're still armoring, we're still holding pain, and it's still bleeding through. So this is a beautiful time of prayer, of really standing in front of our own reflection and looking and feeling and being aware of how we are reacting and responding, how we have those behaviours that have been part of our personality, but they're not in alignment. To really look at that and be observant of that, and from that we bring through love, universal love. When we allow all the doubt to dissolve, when we allow the hammering of our heart to dissolve, we stop being fearful of being hurt, because as we hold on to that pain within, we're hammering it within our heart so that we will project it into our relationships. So this is a wonderful week of really delving deep into our heart space, into our past, peeking beyond the veils where all the mysticism is, honouring the high priestess within, bringing through that mystical enlightenment, universal love. You can see there the pink coming in through her crown, looking through the veils, holding love in her heart as she looks through those veils, so she can be aware of what is in requirement of healing without projecting it into our lives, especially around our relationships. Connecting with the saints and sages today. Mary Magdalene has just stepped through, and she brings through the gift of unconditional love. She brings through the gift of us standing in our own light, of not being pressured to explain ourselves or defend ourselves, because when we go into defense and explaining ourselves, we go into a lower vibration. So she's bringing through this beautiful energy of unconditional love. She is around us today, bringing in that rose, placing a rose within our hearts and allowing it to open and bring expansion into our heart chakra. And this expansion is universal love. So feeling the energy and the sacredness of Mary Magdalene today, of all the saints and sages. Mary Magdalene is the mystic, and she heals with unconditional love. She is the epitome of Christ consciousness, coming through today, helping us to move forward in freedom from the chains of the past. So I'm setting the intention for a reading for the highest and greatest good for the collective, or anyone who views this video. So there we have the step into the unknown. She is blindfolded. Stepping into that unknown, stepping into complete openness and love, without any conditions of putting a condition on people around us that if they act in a certain way, we don't love them, or we take our love back and we put anger in its place. What would it look like if we allowed everybody to just express themselves in their own unique way without taking it personally, without stepping into our own light, stepping forward into the unknown? We are through this time, through this week, we're going through a time of endings and beginnings, endings of what we are deeply programmed into, new beginnings of fresh, new life being rejuvenated within us, our spirits being rejuvenated, going deeper within, taking our time, slowing down, so that we can give thanks for everything in our life, but also when it comes time for the spring, we have energy to move forward. So we're going into the unknown. Things coming up, beautiful, beautiful enlightenment, thoughts, epiphanies coming through in this time. But we will only see them when we take that time to connect with the saints, the sages, with Mary Magdalene, Kuan Yin, stepping forward, the goddess of compassion, who helps souls pass over, who protects children, who protects the females, the vulnerable, letting go of all resistance, letting go of all armouring, and flowing in this time of beautiful endings and beginnings, powerful transformation occurring. And a message now from the gods, goddesses and angels, setting the intention. Got a message to please come through. There we go. The angel of playfulness. The angel of playfulness. Something wonderful and magical is about to happen when we let go of everything that creates unhappiness in our lives. And these are thoughts that we project onto people. When we let go of all that, and I do feel an energy coming in that is wonderful, that is fresh, that is going to bring joy into our lives. And how would it look if we focused on everything that brought joy into our lives, that brought upliftment and rejuvenation? So as we open our heart and allow it to open and become soft, we allow ourselves to soften and to see joy, and to be able to step into that and merge into that frequency of joy, because we are not worrying what other people think. That Scorpio, the sun in Scorpio, is bringing out our passion that maybe we've suppressed, and actually coming into the divine feminine and enjoying ourselves, enjoying our bodies, enjoying our life, enjoying everything in within every area of our life, instead of getting upset with everything. There's a powerful healing, a powerful cleansing, a powerful cleansing of getting upset with things that we can't control. Just coming in and finding that joy, calling in the angels of joy today for all of us to bring some joy, upliftment, some wonderful, some wondrous energy coming in. So I'm sending so much love and joy, healing to anybody who requires it. And thank you so much for listening, and really calling the saints and sages, feeling Mary Magdalene, and also the Pleiades are there. They've just stepped in for me to connect. Look up into the night sky and you'll see the cluster of the Pleiadians on a clear night. And even if there is cloud, the energy is still coming through. They're still there, guiding us on this infinite sea of consciousness. So I'm sending so much love, and thank you so much for listening. God bless. Thank you.